3, 2, 1.
Hey guys! It's Nicole.
I'm Debbie.
Welcome to my channel. Yeah. We wanted to record our study journey.
Yeah, so we have our Apush exam coming up in just a little bit. So we thought it'll be fun, exciting, and creative if we recorded it so you guys could see what we're doing, our journey to mental masterpiece
of the
yes.
AP Advanced Placement.
Hold the camera straight!
Okay, Jesus,
United
sorry.
States history. Okay, cut. Brittany, give me the camera. Oh my god.
Okay, Jesus, stop.
Okay, so where do we begin?
So we begin with the Native Americans.
Girl, hold on. Let's go to Starbucks.
Okay.
Let's go!
Hey guys, we're in Starbucks. Let's go outside.
Hey girl. Isn't this just so much
fun?
So much better.
So much fun. Just get situated.
Yeah.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces
Girl, it's so hot. I had to take my hoodie off.
Girl, I understand.
Oh my god.
I am literally sweating right now. It's not okay.
Time to learn.
I know.
So what's the first thing we're learning today?
So actually, Brittany has more information about that, but she didn't come today because she's really bad at planning, and it's her birthday today. And guess what? She didn't tell us it was her birthday, so she didn't show up. Anyway, so how it usually begins is that after all that stuff with the Great Plains Society, is that it actually goes with the Native Americans were the first major groups of migrants. And to further elaborate, after the colonists came over, they were at first pretty, nice for the most part with the Native Americans. But as with all things, it wasn't meant to last. The colonists became very greedy and just really mean in general to the Native Americans. Not only demanding more from them, but also bringing along diseases. They went to war with these natives. It's just not a good time. So actually what a lot of these Native Americans do, in the New England area, is that they actually packed up their stuff and left. There was a huge mass exodus of all these Native Americans, of all tribes, groups, indigenous peoples, all just they just left. And they moved out west, and that's where they kind of established all of these major heritage areas was in that area.
Okay, wait, my turn. I want to talk. The land rush. It occurred in 1889, and it was the first rush into the unassigned lands of America. And that's also known as the Oklahoma Land Rush. And President Abraham Lincoln signed the Homestead Act of 1862 that allowed settlers to claim land to up to 160 acres, as long as the person lived on it and improved it. So William Springer and Congress amended the Indian Appropriations Bill to authorize President Benjamin Harrison to proclaim the 2 million acre region open for settlement.
Girl, hold up.
What?
What's that right there?
Oh, let me read that. Okay. April 22nd, 1889, men and women rushed to claim homesteads or to purchase lots in the Oklahoma region. At the time, it was located in Indian Territory. Oh! So in 1889, President Benjamin Harrison agreed to remove most of the Indian Territory from Indian control.
Oh my god. That's so cool about the land grants and stuff and all the settlements in the gold rush in California, but I just have one question.
What?
How, if they're literally across the entire United States, how do they stay connected with the rest of the Union?
Oh my god, hold on, let me tell you.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's right here. During the Civil War, due to the need to send supplies, troops, and ammunition to areas that needed them, current standards of transportation weren't good enough. And so, Congress authorized federal land grants and loans to fund the building of the first Continental Railroad. It was completed in 1869 in Utah. It connected the Eastern Railroad system with California's, making transportation of anything really just way easier. Like migration too, with people,
Oh my goodness.
What?
That literally reminded me of something. Here, take the camera.
Okay, oh my god.
Oh my god. So, with what you're talking about, with the Transcontinental Railroad, that right there caused the great age of railroad building, and that really coincided with the settlement of the Great Plains, which previously were uninhabited because it was just so much of a hassle to get there.
You're right.
I know, right? Get this. Not only that, but because there's just such a huge amount of people traveling through that location, that a huge market was created along those railroad lines. And because more railroads were established as the years went on, not only was it easier for you to get from the east to the west or west to the east, there's just a huge national market that was created, that just a huge economic boom for the United States economy. And it was just a really great time. And it made getting from point A to point B much easier.
That makes so much sense.
I know, right? People
Wow.
could like make homes in the Great Plains. They could migrate wherever they wanted.
That's so true.
They could remake themselves, BB. Oh, it was the American dream. What's another piece of migration?
What?
Okay, so like after World War II, where we won and stuff, a lot of the soldiers prior to that and during it, trained here in Florida, in Tampa Bay.
Oh.
What they realized is that the weather here is just so nice. I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
should probably go to like. I
Yeah,
think we're gonna go to Panera.
Okay,
Okay,
9 and 2, 10 and. Oh, watch out! Don't want to hit her.
Hey, this is so much fun. Oh my god. You're such a good driver. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome.
It's my abode.
Where is your weave and what is that? Okay, first of all, I'm trying to eat. Alright? Second of all, we need to study.
So in the 1950s, post World War II, there was a huge migration of soldiers and their families down to Florida. And guess what happened around that time? Air conditioning was born. Yes, so it made living down here much easier. And that caused a huge amount of migration down to the south and into other states that were a little, not so suited for living, like Louisiana and such, much more livable. So yeah. Also, around the same time, there was a huge civil rights movement. This also coincided with the Industrial Revolution. So there was a huge amount of jobs available up in the north, around the Motor Belt, around Detroit and areas like that. More people, they were unfortunately forced to move from their, areas in the south where they were living. They moved north to meet, because there was jobs there, and that's the biggest reasons for any migration of any persons is jobs.
You're right.
Right? Anyway, a bunch of these people moved up into these neighborhoods that were primarily white, and this caused a mixed neighborhood to happen. And let me tell you, white people back then were really racist. Really racist.
Ew.
And this resulting exodus is known as the White Flight, where huge amounts of white people got up and left. That's what they did. Left, got up and walked away to other locaciones. And they primarily moved out of areas like Cleveland, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, places that were now predominantly black, where before they were predominantly white.
Oh, girl, that reminds me of something here.
Oh my God.
Take this.
Okay.
I want to try your wig on. Can you let me? Okay. So, guess what? In the early 1900s, people from Oklahoma and Arkansas were migrating in large groups to California because of the Dust Bowl, and the Dust Bowl forced a lot of Southwesterners, even from Missouri and Texas.
Why? Why were they forced?
Because the Dust Bowl destroyed homes, people's lives. People couldn't farm anymore. Agriculture couldn't progress, and it, everything was kind of destroyed. So everyone had to leave, go to California. And guess what?
What?
The migrating Southwesterners gained nicknames such as Okies and Arkies. Okies were from Oklahoma, Arkies were from Arkansas. And yeah, over 1 million people had migrated to California, which actually was 7,000 per month. And Los Angeles actually sent 136 deputies to the lines, the state lines, and they turned out any migrants without money.
Girl, that's
So,
crazy.
Kind of, yeah, really crazy. Crazy stuff.
You're so cute.
Also, hold on. Didn't you say something about the Industrial Revolution?
I did.
I have something here about that. I might want to elaborate. Is that okay?
Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
People migrated from farms to urban areas because of the new opportunities and work that were spurring up.
That were present because of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, because we were advancing. And this took place between 1760 to the 1900s. And basically Southerners moved up north because, there's more cities in the north, so there's more opportunities. So they
economic growth.
migrated up north.
The biggest reason for migration.
Exactly. And also carpetbaggers, they went down to the south to try and make profit. Carpetbaggers are people that try to make profit off of
Carpets?
No. Carpetbaggers are people from the northern states who went to the south after the Civil War to profit from the Reconstruction.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, Industrial Revolution. It's really sad.
Give me back my weed.
Oh my god. It looks beautiful.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry about that. What were you saying?
It's really sad.
What?
Trail of Tears. I'm reading about it right here. It's terrible. It says that government officials forced Native Americans to relocate and migrate to the west of the Mississippi River. Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Well, the Indian Removal Act in 1830. Members of the Cherokee, Seminole, Chickasaw, and Choctaw nations all had to move.
It's not good.
An estimated 100,000 indigenous people were forced from their homes during that period.
Oh, really? Oh, honey, I heard something. Here, take it out of you.
I wasn't done talking.
You remember when our teacher, Mr. Yarbrough, was talking about the Trail of Tears? During that time, a lot of the Cherokee, that tribe had adhered to the American cultural norms. So they wore like normal clothes. I mean, not this obviously, but they wore normal clothes of that time period. And those clothes were not made for long distance travel, They were just normal shoes, pants, shirts, normal stuff made out of materials that wouldn't be able to last that trip.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would given no time to prepare. They had only the clothes on their back and where they could pick up to leave.
Yeah.
It was just so sad.
It is.
So many people died. My heart goes out to them.
So people were held in miserable internment camps for days or weeks before they got ill. And because they were ill or just not prepared, a lot of them died on the trip.
So, do you know if Brittany's actually coming? Oh, okay. So, do you know if Brittany's actually coming today?
I don't know.
I understand
It's her birthday.
I know. I just wish she was here with
know.
us. I hope she had fun. Anyway, she'll just come study with us on Monday.
Thank you for watching this vlog, everyone. Like, subscribe, comment down below. What are your
Favorite history moments about migration?
Yeah.
I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and I hope that you reached that mental masterpiece we were talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment, yes.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye.
Your story.
So what's the first thing we're learning, Debbie?
Well.
Girl.
Oh, I hate this so much.